Solid Stro, thank you for the 13. Have you heard Nomura talk about the possibility of segmenting the story into smaller parts to get the games out quickly? Do you find this concerning or not? Shine on. What I find concerning is if they straight remove things. That's... Yeah, the FF7 notification is a little loud, right? It was weird. I might not have changed it. What I find concerning more than anything is if they take shit out. Do I want them to turn Junyun Harbor into the next Midgar? Hang on a sec, chat. I'm gonna make an adjustment here. I don't. No, I don't want Junyun to be Midgar, right? It doesn't need to be. Junyun's a place where you stop by, you talk to some people, and then you move on. I don't want it to be this giant, explorative, crazy city on the cove. Don't want that. And I don't think that's gonna be their plan, either. But here's the thing. They're sort of taking it as it goes, right? The big thing Nomura said that you can take from that conversation, because this is just the devs saying what's going on with development. He said that he wants to get parts out faster. If it means like not including as much in a part to not have it come out within 5 years, then I could see where they might stop it off at, because to me the second part would end potentially right as Meteor shows up, you know? That makes sense to me in terms of story, but in terms of development, that could be a different situation. Kitase also mentioned that he knows that people are predicting that it's going to be a trilogy. That a lot of people have been saying that. What I want is like, here's the things I want, and we'll make a video in the future talking about this once this is all done. My hopes for the next game, like my big brain hopes, is that the next game has large environments, right? Like, give me large-scale environments like Final Fantasy, to an extent of Final Fantasy 15. Maybe it doesn't have to be that big, but just give me places to go, right? Give us hunts to do, give us things to do in between where we, like, help a person out that is, you know, being attacked on the side of the road because their chocobo got fucked up, and then they're being attacked by monsters, and they're weird bio-monsters that came from, you know, modification of Mako because they were close to mid... Like, right, things like that are great. Things like that that expand the lore a little bit. That stuff is good. It doesn't need to be open world, right? Open world, I think, is a bad representation. Yeah. Essentially, Final Fantasy 12, right? Let's think of Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 15, like the best of both worlds. If you did Final Fantasy 12 large-scale environments, which give you things to do in between those environments, that's an old fucking game now. That's a really old game. But in between FF12 and in between FF15, right? Something, you can marry those things. However, is the FF alert way louder? Hold on a second, I'll change it. But this game, here's the thing. This game already does a lot of that. This game already consolidates so many aspects of Final Fantasy games between other Square games like Kingdom Hearts and shit, the way the combat is, the way the turn-based system is of the old game, the way action game combat is sort of figuring into Final Fantasy 15, right? Like, that is... They've already done a pretty damn good way of consolidating what a Final Fantasy game is with this one. This game, in my opinion, is really like Final Fantasy 13, but better. Like, actually Final Fantasy 13, but good. Yo, thank you for the 13, Xavier. Let me fix that emote really quick. That notification. Hang on. Which one is it? It's the FF7 one, right? Oh, you're totally right. Yeah, the audio was up by like 50%. Okay, it should be fixed now. It won't kill the other ones. Right? So my entire argument going forward is that in the next game, are you going to be able to get the giant world map and scour the world and stuff? Like, they could do something like or they could do something like Dragon Quest XI, which has a very Final Fantasy VII world map, but I don't think I want that, right? I think it's nice if the world feels open, right? Like Skyrim to an extent. It doesn't need to be that crazy, right? It doesn't need to be that nuts. I think a mixture of Final Fantasy 12 and Final Fantasy 15 is a nice balance between the two. So, but do I think you're gonna be over the clouds, flying over and landing and doing all that stuff in the next game? I don't. No. I do not think you're gonna be doing that in part 2. You're You gotta realize that each one of these games have to like one-up each other. That's gonna be the big thing for part 2. I'm sorry, part 3, right? Part 3 is most likely going to be the game where you have much bigger world traversal. Because what happens at around part 3, especially if part 3 is a game where you get access to the airship, then that makes a lot of sense, right? Part 3 is all about world and airship and epic events and things like that. Right? Airship and giant weapons attacking and all that crazy shit. Like Monster Hunter World maps? Well, here's the thing. I do not trust Square Enix to hit the level design that Monster Hunter World has. I don't. Monster Hunter World's maps are fantastic. They're fun, they're interesting, they're super cool to look at. They have multifaceted levels and layers and all this interactivity. You know, like that's not... Unfortunately, Square hasn't really shown, like internal Square, hasn't really shown a lot of confidence that can have me think that they're gonna create level design on that level. Unfortunately, no. I don't think that's gonna happen. What I do think is that you're probably gonna get something in between Final Fantasy 12 to Final Fantasy 15 for big open areas. And you know what? I'm super happy with that. I just want to feel like I took a journey from calm. We took a journey from calm to the Chocobo Farm. That from the Chocobo Farm, that's not true at all. I mean, well, between like the big internal Square guys, right? Between Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy games, Final Fantasy 7, which is like a different studio at this point. Nier Automata was designed not by Square. It's a Square Enix game, but it's published by Square Enix. That was our new... If you guys think Nier Automata is made by the same people that made this, I have a crazy story for you. They're fucking not. They are definitely... It's like saying Capcom made Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Yeah, they did technically, but it was made by aiding a completely different studio. So, FF14 is technically cheating, right? Maybe FF14's like the one diamond in the rough, but... Woof. Right? Woof. And Nier Automata is like a subsidiary of Square with the Nier crew, and then you have Platinum, who technically made the whole fucking thing. So those are big differences between these in-house single-player Final Fantasy crews, which have been making like all these the mainline FF crew, the guys that essentially make the... Well, I think the guys that make the like the tactics team that went on to make 12, the Evil East squad, didn't they essentially just get sort of absorbed into Final Fantasy 14? I'm not entirely sure on that, but yeah, like there's not a lot. I've seen a lot of these games played with like World to Final Fantasy and a lot of these other games, and they just... Thank you, One Bum. Thank you very much. They just don't have a ton of great levels. Like, they're pretty fucking... They're about as basic as this game. Square tries very hard to make a lot of their games accessible. Like, Yeah, didn't the Evil East crew technically get put out into a whole bunch of other places? Yeah. Boommeister, thank you, dude. One Bum, thank you for the 23. Lickchan, thank you for the 777s. I can't wait to ride Chocobos in part 2, right? Like, we already know how those systems are gonna work. There's nothing wrong with the way Chocobos control and ride in Final Fantasy 15, right? Like, a lot of the elements that are in Final Fantasy 15 sort of lend themselves to 7 Remake's next game. Like, there's already so much shit that's ready to go. What the problem was that 15 was designed as their big open world game, and they weren't very good at it, right? And this game, like, there's clearly things that can be improved from this game, but for what this is in terms of being like a focused story that is very much Yakuza at its core, I think they did a pretty good job. I think they did a really good job. Yo, Neo40, thank you for the 15 gift subs, dude. Holy shit. Holy shit. And Doomrat, thank you for the 5, dude. So yeah, I'm like, a lot of the stuff they're saying in the Ultimania regarding the future of FF7, regarding like where they're going, regarding the regarding their plans with the overall scope and how, you know, characters are alive in the end and shit like that. I think all of that was pretty much as we predicted. Pretty much is like, well, considering the tone of this game, I don't think they're doing anything that crazy. Like, I think they're definitely gonna set up some mystery and things that you don't know about. But, yeah, this game was pretty well balanced. It definitely had pacing issues. I definitely agree with that. But I think this game was pretty well balanced in the overall of providing what it needed to do, which is to get the characters on our journey. Hold on a second. Let's do this.
Let's go crazy!
Okay.
Marvelous!
Yes? Oh, it actually doesn't matter if I choose it on hard mode, right? FF7 Remake Part 2 Overworld needs to be like Xenoblade Chronicles X or 2, or you're probably thinking Breath of the Wild as well, because those are all made by the same people. No, I don't think you're gonna get that. I don't think you're gonna get those kind of overworlds, because those overworlds are very much made by people who have been doing overworlds like that for a long fucking time. I don't think you're gonna get monolith soft levels of open worlds. No. From Square Enix, I don't think so. I don't think they have the design prowess for that yet. I don't think so. But I think it's gonna be a little bit of the things that they did good with Final Fantasy 12, and a little bit of the things that hopefully they did well with Final Fantasy 15. That's what I hope, man. Will Square outsource again? Are they still burned by last time? I got news for you. When games get this big, something is outsourced no matter what. Nothing is done entirely internal. A shit ton of animation work in this game was outsourced to Malaysia? You'd have to tell me which place it was, Chad. I can't remember exactly. Krazikami, but thank you for the 1,000 bits, dude. For anyone that is... For any games that are big, like very, very large, big, like games on this level, they are not done all in-house. Was it Singapore? I think it was one of the two. I can't remember which one it was. It was Singapore? Yeah, like a lot of work like that is absolutely done that way. Absolutely done that way. It's not surprising at all. So what's the vote, chat? Should we go directly to chapter 17 and try this big crazy fight in the VR mission, or should we stay the course on chapter 7, beat the airbuster with no buffs, or at least try to, and then yeah, airbuster first? Okay. Just keep going, stay the course, okay. I did see Donkey's video. He feels about the same as he does about the original FF7. Like, I watched this old FF7 video from like 5 years ago, and he's not even a big fan of it. Didn't seem like he was a big fan of the game. So, I'm not surprised. This game could be very like... And I watched Angry Joe, who apparently loved like the Yakuza games, like one of like Yakuza 0 or something like that. He loves Yakuza 0. And guess what he also loves? FF7. Like, he thinks this game's fucking great. Yeah, the big thing that really threw me off is the voice acting opinion. Like, that is crazy to me to think that the voice acting in this game is bad. Like, maybe if your only perspective is like God of War and Souls games, maybe. I genuinely don't agree. You want to see JRPG level quality, like level voice acting, you go look at what they're doing with Trials of Mana. Go see that, right? If you want some fucking perspective in terms of how Square handles their voice acting, pay attention to Trials of Mana and World of Final Fantasy, and tell me that me as an FF7 fan wasn't horribly worried about that happening to FF7 Remake. I was horribly worried that some of that quality, like voice acting, was sort of gonna, was gonna make its way into this. I was like, oh shit, man, no, oh god. I ate that shit up, right, and that's what I mean. And I've said this before, Like the way Kingdom Hearts characters talk, the way like World of Final Fantasy, Trials of Mana, like the way those translations, like that localization and the delivery of that voice acting it's practically those games' identity, right? It's practically their identity that they are that way. So I don't blame people for liking it. People can like it. It's just that like I genuinely didn't want that for Final Fantasy VII. I did not want Dirge Cerberus Crisis Core to the extent that it has outside of Zack. Zack is the only good character that has voice acting in Crisis Core for the most part, outside of maybe some minor characters. And then Advent Children. Like I did not want the characters sounding like they were talking like they were fucking Advent Children. And luckily the thing I was the most worried about with FF7, which was the portrayal of characters, is actually possibly one of its greatest strengths. Oh wait, it's also got incredible fucking music and beautiful environments and some of the sickest fucking combat in an RPG like action game you could possibly have. And unfortunately the levels leave a lot to be desired. Let's move on. What's wrong with Advent Children? No, the Dilly Dally meme is the same as the whole Dilly Dally thing is just a meme. Right, it's just one bad moment. It's the same thing that people meme the Final Fantasy X laugh. Same shit. It's not the delivery of the line. It's the fact that the characters don't sound like people. I use the term anime robots a lot. And that's almost like a disservice now because like a lot of anime has a lot of really good dub nowadays. Like they actually focus on it being good. But the characters don't feel like people. Like they just don't, when they talk to each other, they don't feel like people. They're weird, like, and Zack makes fucking point of it. That's why I actually really dig Zack in, that's why I dig Zack in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. Because Zack, we made this observation, Zack is like, where the fuck am I? You're all crazy! What's going on? Oh god, why is everyone insane? Right? And that's the thing, yeah, maybe the writing doesn't lend themselves to having like deep emotions or subtext or, you know, a lot of the stuff that's in this game. Zack actually is great because he's so confused. Why is everybody crazy? Like, he has moments like this where he just breaks down. Did you just eat my hair? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's great. He's genuinely confused at what is going on around him, why everyone's acting weird. It's fantastic, and that's the one thing that brings Crisis Core together. If Zack didn't act the way he does, let me tell you what, the gameplay doesn't bring Crisis Core together. I'm gonna tell you right now. It was a PSP thing, and it might have been good, and I remember enjoying it when it was on PSP. But after playing Crisis Core again recently, the gameplay does not hold up well. It in fact holds up very poorly. So it's not as much the visuals. It's not as much. It's pretty much the second half of the game and Zack. Second half of the game has an interesting story, and Zack is interesting. It keeps it going the whole way. If it didn't have that, it would feel just like Advent Children, like just weird. It doesn't make any sense. Conflict resolved. Modulating phase.
You mean Shinra?
Yeah, you know what? I'll agree. I didn't like Zack's VA good, and I didn't like Zack's VA very much, and I think that's only because we have perspective, right? We've heard Zack deliver those exact lines in that exact scenario at one way in the past, and it's actually handled very well. Is Crisis Core a good game in my opinion? Crisis Core is like a solid, like, 7. Crisis Core is a 7. Dirge is like a fucking 4. Dirge Cerberus's only good redeeming quality is that it looks good, and it has good music. That's it. Everything else about it fucking sucks. Characters, the story, the combat, the levels, like, Dirge is a fucking 4. It's rough. I'm probably being generous. But Crisis Core is like decent, right? It's got some redeeming qualities, like, and I feel like I gave Crisis Core back when it came out like an 8, and I think like with perspective it's dropped a point because the combat is not good, right? The engagements leave a lot to be desired.
They've got time for us.
Oh wow, that's right. I get
Take the lead. Ain't no thing.
Okay, we're on hard. Are we on hard mode? Are we on hard mode? I think we are. We're getting crazy experience, right? So technically Vincent might be Sephiroth's dad according to Dirge. Yeah, here's the crazy part is that so many people are jumping to the conclusion that Gact is gonna show up. And to me it feels like, once again, it feels like the ending has blinded everyone so much by what happened in this game that they're not seeing what's directly in front of their eyes. Right? Similar to how the story of this game goes, like you revisit a second time and there's shit right in front of your face the whole way through that you didn't pay attention to. I don't think Gact is gonna show up any more than he does in this game. Because he does show up in this game, technically. He shows up in text form. Hojo mentions him. I think you might get something else like that. I think you might get a document or something that goes into a bit more of maybe Project Genesis. But do I think, right, like, I think people are going from one end of the spectrum completely to the other. Like, it's either black or white, and there's no gray area in between. It's either like one end, no Gacts, nothing, fuck all of Compilation. Other end, Gact is literally floating around in Nibelheim spitting shit about Loveless eating an apple. One end or the other. And there seems to be very few people that are seeing the in-between, which is what this game already does. This game already takes a shitload of compilation stuff and puts it throughout the whole game. There's a ton of stuff. They actually reference dumb apples. They actually reference the Benora white apple. They reference G-cells when Hojo's talking. They reference Kunsel, who's a major character, technically a major side character in Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core. They're already alluding to stuff that's in Before Crisis, which actually might be really interesting if they follow through with it. And they already have a thing that's directly referencing Deep Ground from Dirge of Cerberus. The difference is, it's handled with subtlety, right? The difference is that it's handled with a nice subtlety. It's not just, Vince is floating around, he's gonna do all this crazy shit, and like, right? It's not the direct, either not there completely or kind of here. There's this wonderful like in-between that this game has, which handles subtlety pretty well. How do you feel about Last Order? I never played Last Order. I've read things of it, but I've never had a chance to actually beat it. But I do know that, I mean, spoilers chat. I'm gonna cover my ears if you don't want to know what all this Avalanche stuff is leading to. When I take my hands off my ears, you're allowed to listen. Oh, fuck Last Order. Jesus, I mean, I was thinking of Before Crisis. Fuck Last Order. Fuck that anime. I can't. I hate it. Hated it when I first saw it, back when it came out, and I still hate it. I hate its depiction of Nibelheim. I don't like it. I think it's better in Crisis Core. And even in Crisis Core, fuck Last Order, man. That shit sucks. So melodramatic trash. Like, it is... You're not gonna get me. It looks nice, right? That's about the only thing I'm gonna give you. It looks nice. But Last Order quite literally ruins the Cloud versus Sephiroth moment. Ruins it. It's completely altered. And the weird thing is that it's not altered in Crisis Core. In Crisis Core, it remains relatively normal. Like, what the fuck, man? Like, they literally have Sephiroth just jumps off with Genova's head. I'm like, what? That takes away the entire moment that Cloud gets. Come on. Come on, man. Last Order's lame. Sorry. Don't trigger me on Last Order. Sorry. I was about to get into a whole tangent of Before Crisis, which is definitely setting up where they're going with Before Crisis in the next game. But fuck, dude. Last Order hasn't been canon for a while. I mean, thank fuck. That is a part of the compilation of FF7, right? It's a piece of it, but Jesus. Okay, spoilers are done. You're good. Spoilers are good, right? I'm not talking about spoilers. Yeah, Strippin's takes are pretty mind-blowing. Strippin essentially, so just for anyone that's clear, Strippin discovered where the story's going. And it's not like, oh, where is the story going, his predictions? No, Strippin discovered where the story's going because of literal like novellas written by Nojima, who wrote Final Fantasy VII, who wrote Advent Children, right? Same guy who wrote this game. Strippin wrote what is it? The Sephiroth story and the Aerith story about them being in after right, if they're combined with the planet and stuff like that. He pretty much found exactly what Sephiroth's intent is, and exactly what Aerith's intent is, and why those two characters seem to be on another level character-wise, right? He discovered it, right? He found it. And if you read those, you're gonna know exactly what Sephiroth is doing, and exactly what Aerith is doing. It's not even, it's, yeah, Livestream White, Livestream Black, or something like that. That's the name of the two novellas. If you wanna know where the story is going, Nojima literally wrote it out for you like a couple years ago. Literally wrote it out. The problem is not everyone has read that shit. And I think it's actually pretty fucking, it's close to what I thought they were doing, but I think a lot of the time travel elements might be are technically explained there, and they're not time travel. It's not. But the timeline stuff is definitely there, right? This game is definitely setting up that there is a very large mystery with a character that remains alive in the end, and, you know, the developers have just recently spoken about that. That is their mystery. They said that at the end of this game, you're given information that a character is alive. That is our great mystery that we can't talk anything about. So it's like, huh, okay. Yeah, it's like 3 paragraphs. It's not long. It's really not long. If you just go read Livestream White and Livestream Black, I think is what they're called. It's more, yeah, it's like foresight, right? It's more foresight than what's going on. Consciousness type stuff. Because those characters are definitely on a different level, right?
I'll deal with that.
All right, watch and learn. Bring in the heat. Shit hurts. Go.
I got it. Let's finish this. Don't overdo it.
Yes, it's mine.
Yeah.
And there you have it.
Yeah, On the Way to a Smile might be a bit. That's another like Advent Children book that they made. I haven't read all of it, but yeah, it is definitely. I think it's long, right? I think it's actually like a book. Can I go into what I want from an open world on the next game? I think we'll talk about it in the future. We'll talk about like what my hopes are for the future of Final Fantasy VII Remake. Once we get through, like, you know, these playthroughs, we're gonna have all these discussions. These discussions are gonna be good because this is sort of like compiling my thought process of what I feel I want to be improved from this game into the next game, where I hope they're going with the combat and the battle system, and I hope they're going with the world design. And then we're gonna talk about like a completely separate topic, like story. Like where do we want this game to go story-wise? Like how do we want to visit locations and revisit stuff and all this shit, you know? Oh, Livestream Black and Livestream White are actually in On the Way to a Smile. Gotcha. Okay, I didn't know that. That's stuff I haven't even discovered. The crazy part is that the same thing that we pulled together at the end of this game actually is reflected in Livestream White, Livestream Black. However, the way it's reflected is different, right? We got it wrong with how the characters are given that information. Those two novellas essentially just describe exactly how they get it. These guys have been setting up a sequel to FF7 Remake for God knows how long. And it's not just Nomura, right? You gotta realize that, one thing that people have to realize, like, this is one completely different end of the spectrum sort of thing. FF7 Remake isn't all Nomura. Kingdom Hearts was. Kingdom Hearts was like his baby. He has to work with Disney. We have to delay the game to get Frozen in there. You know, like he had to deal with all the weird stipulations of dealing with Disney while also still making his own narrative and doing his own crazy shit, you know? So it was his baby along with Disney. Here's the big difference between Final Fantasy VII. This game isn't just Nomura's baby. It's Nojima's baby. It's also Kitase's baby. And there's a couple other guys that are on the staff. The scenario, one of the other scenario writers. He's like the third dude in the credits, and I can't remember his fucking name. But Kitase Nomura Nojima, not Kojima. There's one other guy, and I can't remember his name, but there's like 4 dudes that have been on almost every single Final Fantasy VII project, right? Almost like every single one. So I think it's Yoshinori something, right? Either way, it's not just in the hands of one guy and his creative insanity that is like sort of Kingdom Hearts and the fandom that game has, which is like, I think, genuinely different than this. Definitely can see similarities, and these guys tackle these themes in games like Final Fantasy 13 and all this shit. But I think the way it's handled in this game is a lot better, because at least they gave you something to reflect on, right? At least they gave you some idea of what's going on. I wanted to ask you why you say the remake reveals that Sephiroth killed Cloud's mom. Didn't we already know that he killed everyone in Nibelheim and make her crazy? It's generalized, right? That's an exact thing that they're expanding on in the remake. You did not get... In the previous game, you just hear that, oh, Sephiroth, you know, lit the village on fire. You don't get direct information that he's the one responsible for, you know, the deaths of every single person potentially in the area. You get this generalization that, oh, Sephiroth fucked up Nibelheim. Did people make it out? Did they leave? Now they're like, oh, directly, no, I killed your mother. Right? It's implied in the remake. It's implied strongly in the OG because Shinra literally rolls in and conspiracy theory covers everything up. In this one, they're like, we're gonna take a moment that Sephiroth is going to describe the murder of his mother to expand on Cloud's hatred for this character. And I'm like, okay, that's good, right? And the fact that you get to like see see the flashback the same one you get in the original game, I'm like, this is all good. It's all very nice. Yeah. Before I go fight this big cluster of enemies, which might actually be pretty tough. Give me back my town, my mother. Yeah, it's like one very brief line, right? One brief line. Now they give it a whole scene. That's like the narrative expansion that I'm talking about. That's like the amplification of what's going on. That's why I dig that. I'm actually super happy that they're doing this stuff to amplify character emotions of where we're going. And I watched Wooly and Pat's podcast, and their big gripe was how they handled Sephiroth in this game. And how, like, a lot of Sephiroth's character, people feel like he's been used too much. That he's, like, essentially, like, his big Jaws reveal has been ruined. And I get it where this game needed to give you something in the background to lead up to. We need to have a bigger goal, and Sephiroth is essentially that bigger goal that our characters are being set on. That happens at the end of Final Fantasy VII Original. However, I think it's purposely done here to sprinkle Sephiroth throughout the game, to give you more of him. Because people... Number one, people know who Sephiroth is, right? Number two, people that are new to the game are gonna be like, oh, who's this crazy guy that's fucking with everything? Right? What the fuck is going on with this guy? Why don't we know anything about him? Why do we know so little about him? Why is the game being so cryptic of what's going on? What is he doing? By the way, thank you, Nate Jack. While I like the way that they sort of sprinkle Sephiroth throughout this game, it does feel like a reason to give him a last boss fight, right? We need to build up to this last boss fight sort of thing. And they do give reasons why Sephiroth is acting the way he does throughout the whole game. But for a lot of people, that buildup of 1997, the buildup of what Sephiroth is, doesn't happen until Calm. You don't get to know who Sephiroth is until later in the story, which is the same thing that happens at the end of this thing, right? At the end of this game, you don't know who he is. You just know that he's a bad guy and he's out there. However, in the next game, what's going to happen? In the next game, you're going to get a detailed breakdown. It's going to be incorrect, but you're going to get a detailed breakdown from our main character about who Sephiroth is. And then he's going to be hunting you, and he's going to be fucking with you, and he's going to be screwing with your emotions, and he's going to be controlling Cloud. He's going to do all this shit, right? There's another popular piece of fiction that handles its main bad guy a very specific way. The only difference is that now we've had the story delivered already. We know where this shit is going. However, it's almost beat for fucking beat Like, so far, it's beat for beat how Darth Vader is handled in the original Star Wars. He's just this bad guy that's hanging around, that's evil, that is, like, messing with you guys, that is essentially the main bad guy towards the end. But is sort of left wondering, who the fuck is that? What's going on? So that by the time the second game comes around, Final Fantasy VII Part 2 is essentially going to be The Empire Strikes Back. And we all know why Part 2 is going to be The Empire Strikes Back, if it reaches that point in the game. If it goes that far. If this is a trilogy, then Part 2, that's how storytelling is. Part 2 has to be the characters at their weakest. Because Part 3 has to be them coming back. The way they set up Sephiroth in this game makes me absolutely feel that Part 2 is going to be the Final Fantasy VII Empire. It's going to be big reveals, it's going to be moments that fuck with our characters, that put them at their absolute weakest towards the end of the game. And then, is Part 3 gonna be them teaming up? I don't know any of that shit. I don't think it's gonna be that way. However, I do feel that they're giving Sephiroth way more power in FF7 Remake compared to the power he had before. They're giving him so much more shit if you start looking in between the cracks. He's on another fucking level in this game. And the problem is that he's not even at full power yet. The problem is he still has to get the black materia to his body. All that shit still has to happen. So, you just finished reading it, Phoenix? Yeah, I'm telling you right now, if you read Lifestream White, Lifestream Black, it'll straight just tell you where this game's going. If you want to get spoiled, read those two novellas. And they're short, they're a few paragraphs. But if you want to know where this game is going, you could just read those two very small things, those two very small little chapterettes. But yeah, like, and I'm excited about that, man. I'm excited that Sephiroth is technically more dangerous and is about to become even more evil than he was in the original game. Any ideas what direction they're giving to Rufus? I don't know. Like, I really don't know the ghosts in relation to Rufus. I don't have any predictions on that. But, I can't say that I'm not excited, right? I can't say that I'm extremely fucking excited with where they could be going.
Well, what we got here?
Turrets up top.
I can deal with those.
Ah, shit.
How'd you like that? You got this.
Don't think you'll walk away from this. Come on. Good luck.
We just get nuked? They just nuke us?
It's on you.
Where's this other laser cannon? Barrett, let's do this. Holy fuck! Where's this other laser cannon, Barrett? There he is, you piece of shit!
Check out this shit right here. Bring it home.
I got this.
Oh, that thing's dead. Wait, is it not? Oh, it is. Thank God. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, 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 ow. That really hurt. Oh my God, hang on a second. This battle's not easy.
Take the lead.
Tifa?
Give him your all.
Damn, Tifa's a crazy lady. Okay, Barrett, Barrett, I might just have you build ATB and do this for me, Barrett.
All set.
Tifa's just too mobile for this guy.
You ready? Yeah. It's on you.
Woo!
Keep it up.
This is now.
God damn, is it fun doing shit in this game. Holy hell! Is it fun as fuck to do stuff in this game? Oh, God. No, we're gonna save the VR challenge after we do this fight. Yo, by the way, KJ440, 50 bucks, thank you so much, dude. What the hell? By the way, there's also a lot of notifications in here. I hope you guys like the new ones. I still have to make some sizing adjustments to some of the notifications. The Benny one is slightly cut off. So, don't worry, it'll be fixed in the future. Yo, KJ, I'm gonna say that I came into this with little to no knowledge of FF besides the art for Cloud and Vincent. I played the game by outpacing you a little and then watching your streams, and I was glad we shared the same feelings about it. Nice, man. Yeah, and I think that there's a lot of opinions, and there's a lot of people that feel like one way or the other about this game. But if there's one thing that I think this game sets up is a lot of intrigue towards the end. And whether or not you're confused by where it's going, I think Square did a good job in making people potentially like either concerned and or excited. And or excite concerned about where this shit is going, you know? I think that was risky as hell, and it's also pretty smart. And the funny thing is that they talk about it, dude. They talk about at the end of the Ultimania that their discussion of what they want to do with the last dialogue, which is the unknown journey will continue. They had apparently a whole bunch of conversations on what that would say, and apparently at the last minute they changed it. And they wanted to leave something more open to player interpretation about where they could be going, because they knew that they were going to get backlash on what is essentially said at the end of this. And I feel that the reason they changed what the last line of dialogue in the game is to sort of gauge everybody on how they feel, right? I think that's the whole point, is that developers aren't just like a wet blanket and they just like sit under it and they don't hear anything from the outside. There was already clearly a shit ton of things that are in FF7 Remake that the developers added due to fan feedback, right? There was a ton of shit that they added into this game because of fan feedback all over the place. And a lot of people have their interpretations of what is happening. You can guarantee that they're paying attention to that. And it most likely is going to be them gauging everyone's insight levels, gauging their feelings on where this stuff is going towards the next game. Because even Kitase said that part 2, we're still going to hit all the same story beats as the original FF7. He said that, he said the shit I've been trying to tell everyone ever since we beat the game. I still think we're going to do all the same stuff in part 2. We're gonna do all the same sort of moments that you remember from the original game. And the dude literally says that in this interview that just came out. The difference, the point, is that you're not going to get there the exact same way. Things will be different in between. Roach could show up and fuck with you and reveal some stuff about Soldier, or that he's dying to like the genetic sort of degradation. Things like that. With even more time ghosts. Well, luckily, the Ultimania does confirm that the time ghosts are dead. They're gone. You take them out. So if your worry is that part 2 is just, oh great, so we're just gonna get more plot ghosts. Great. The plot ghosts are gone. So you don't have to worry about that. The big thing that, what were the big things that changed in the story of FF7 in this part compared to the original? The big thing that changed was that Sephiroth was here more often than usual, and Cloud is getting flash forwards to the future. Those are the two big things that are changing the story of FF7 outside of the plot ghosts, right? So if we get more of like Sephiroth fucking with our characters, more characters like... That was very loud. Skelehertz, thank you. I think I'm gonna tone that one down. More characters like, you know, getting these visions and premonitions of shit from the future, then I'm cool with that. I actually thought that was some of the best stuff in the game. Simmons is loud as fuck. Hold on a second. Simmons, I kept Simmons' traditional ass old notification. God damn, he is hella loud. Fuck Simmons. He was so loud. What's your problem? Alright, that should be better. Thank you, Skelehertz. Bet theory for the ending isn't a Cloud and Zack versus Sephiroth, but a Cloud and Zack, Cloud versus Zack versus Sephiroth. How they turn Zack against Cloud is unknown. Maybe having them kill Aerith in front of Zack. Hopefully Hojo and Espeedo and Costa del Sol. Yes, that should definitely still happen. I think that'll happen. Jesse Daniels, thank you for the 777s. Sounds one of my favorite games of all time. It's been great to hear your thoughts about the remake. Thank you for all you do. Keeping me sane in our current times. Thank you, man. I feel like if there's a better time for all of us to be discussing this stuff, it's like right now, and you know we have time to do it. Was that a gift sub? Thank you. Let me go back down here. Reef the Hero, thank you for the 5 gift subs, man. Nate Jack put in 10. How do you feel Square has been since the creator, Sakaguchi, has left Square after FF10? As the creator of the idea of around 7 and even the idea of life and death being around his own loss, has it felt Square has been less since his leaving? Well, I've progressively lost interest in Square stuff, you know, after FF7. Just like it became less interested over time. But I don't know, like, the funny thing is like people think Sakaguchi, that it was his mother's passing that actually was the influence of some of the events of Final Fantasy VII. But apparently his mother passed in like the 80s. Someone was mentioning to me that it's like a common misnomer. That those themes were essentially kept in from like, Sakaguchi also had, you know, development collaboration with the game, of course. But like Nojima and the other developers and even Nomura was the one to actually choose Aerith to die. So, you know, I think those themes are great. That's what makes FF7 really good. The themes of life and death. On a second, chat. I'm trying to catch up. Keep later. Watching the discussion video took a lot of the Twitter announcements about the future of FF7 titles. It's important. I think the Whispers saved Avalanche if they're meant to keep history on track, knowing they die. Why do you think the Whispers saved Avalanche if they're meant to keep history on track, knowing they die? Well, in the original FF7, it's presumed that all of Avalanche dies, right? You're just not given more information. All you're told in the original FF7 is that the plate falls, everybody's dead. This game, people get evacuated, a shit ton of people die, but not as many because the characters actually try to alter course, right? So even in the original FF7, everyone's presumed dead, but you don't directly know. And at the end of this game, it's revealed that yes, like one character didn't die and another character absolutely did. And then another one we actually don't know. We're actually completely unaware. So yeah, that I think as the player, you're just not given it much more information, right? You don't you don't have this big like chapter to go and reflect and talk to characters about what they feel about the plate falling, right? Wall Market isn't a genuinely different place after the plate fall. It's just not. Like people just sort of they might mention something of it and you just go do your thing. In this game, it's totally different. Like there's moments of mourning. What happened to Wedge? I don't know, man. Wedge's weird off-screen thing. Bringing back Wedge and Biggs as a cop-out? Well, Chapter Select tells you that Biggs didn't get brought back. Biggs actually didn't die. Biggs tells you right before you leave him, I still have enough fight in me for 1 or 2 more platoons. Something like that. You know? It's a very big misconception, and I felt the same thing, that he actually doesn't make it. He does. The Chapter Select tells you that he's injured, but not mortally injured. However, Jessie's a different story. Jessie is totally dead. She's not coming back. Wedge is unknown. We don't know what the hell even happens to him, really. So, we'll find out later. Yeah, no shit. No, that is... We had this entire discussion, chat. Biggs does not die at the plate. He somehow survives. Why is Jessie's gloves on the table, though? Maybe Biggs ran into Jessie's body and then grabbed a memento or something. And then his body was found with her glove or her sash. We don't know. All that is that the game tells us that Biggs potentially might have survived. Yeah, but maybe the cat saves him. There's an implication that Kate Sith shows up at some point. We don't know what he does. That's there for a reason. They didn't just throw a weird anthropomorphic cat at the screen during one of the saddest moments in the game for zero reason. If anything, this game has a lot of scenes in it that are clearly setting up for shit. that even pay off later down the line.
A little more chaotic, ain't that right?
Yeah.
They didn't do that for no reason. The problem is, here's the tough thing to convey what's going on. Chat's looking at, a lot of people are looking at this game from the perspective that it's just one game and that's it. Why isn't my full story told within one game? Why don't all of our characters have their proper arcs that are completely done by the end of this game? Why don't I completely know what Sephiroth is by the end of part 1? Where's all the intrigue? Where, like, we don't have any stuff leading up to anything. It's just part 1. This is the challenge that they have as developers, that they have to get you to part 2, right? And it's annoying, right? It's gonna be annoying. You know what? I felt just as frustrated and I felt just as annoyed when I had no knowledge of Lord of the Rings. I had no knowledge. I didn't even know where Lord of the Rings goes as a story. And by the time we were 2.5 hours into that fucking film and I was in the theater, they go over the mountains and I'm like, man, that shit is really far away at the end of the mountain. Mount Doom is still really far out there. It's, how much more movie is there gonna be? Holy shit. And then it faded to credits. And I went, fuck you! Fuck that! I'm pissed! I'm mad! I was not happy. I was genuinely not happy at the end of that movie. That I had to wait. And my friend is like, yeah, there's going to be 3 parts. I'm like, fuck that, dude! But the thing is that I end up gradually loving the shit out of that movie. I do. Like, Lord of the Rings 1 is fucking awesome. Because it sets up, to be honest, it's the best one, right? It is the best one. Couldn't read the original books. I can't stand Tolkien's embellishment. Tolkien really likes to embellish on shit, and I'm like, can we get on with the story? Some people love that. I was just constantly like, felt like we were just distracting. But, you know, like, that's the same feeling, right? That's the same feeling you sort of have, that the game, the movie, the game, these things leave you right on the edge. And you're like, this game literally leaves you right on the edge. They literally leave you right at this moment where we're about to go find out what's going on, cut to credits. Fuck! The only problem is that in the original FF7, you only had to wait a few hours to learn more of what's going on. The only issue with Lord of the Rings is that you had to wait a year, and the biggest problem with Final Fantasy VII is that the developers are now essentially asking you to wait 2 to potentially 3 to God knows how many years, right? We don't know how many years it's gonna take. Let's hope it doesn't take the 5 years that this game took in its crazy development hell. However, I think 2 to 3 years is about... I think 2 to 3 years is about exactly what we're gonna be doing. So, either way. You're all gonna forget about all this, and then there's gonna be another trailer, and every single person, including all the people that didn't like the elements of this game or the ending, people are gonna eat that shit up in 2 years because you're gonna remember all the stuff you liked about this, and it's gonna go all the way fucking back. I'm telling you right now.
Sephiroth. Soldiers. Mako. Shinra.
So this is the Nibelheim reactor.
I'm sick of all of this.
This is Tifa as like a late teenager. I think she was 16 after Sephiroth kills her dad and goes on the hunt for Genova. This is where Tifa is also presumably mortally injured.
Hey, soldier boy.
Tifa.
What?
Like, and if we're talking the original Final Fantasy VII, Tifa should honestly have a scar that goes from here all the way down to her hip. Like, she should be, right? And that's like the biggest, we don't even get answers for that in the original FF7. We don't even get answers where like, how did Tifa survive this shit? We don't even know, and that'll maybe be something we figure out later in the game. Maybe Zangan, you know, finds her body, gets her the hell out of here, finds a way to heal her crazy wound because Zangan was her martial arts master. Yeah, there's very little that shows of how Zangan healed her fucking mortal wound and how that all happens. So maybe we'll actually get more Zangan, which will be cool. I'd be very happy with more information on who the fuck this guy is and why he chose Tifa and all that stuff. So we'll figure out. I'm excited. Did he take her to Midgard to treat her? Is that in the original 7? He's in the original 7 very briefly. Is that like a Crisis Core thing? Oh, the letter. I'd have to go back and read the letter again. We must have missed that when we did New Threat. I think we missed that one. But it's essentially described in the letter that because we all know that Zengen is the one that saves her. It's just like, what's the, huh? How did that? Wait, really? You hear about it when you get her limit. That's so after the piano. Okay, that's right. That's right. That's right. Okay, well I want to read that letter. We'll have to check it out. Is explained a bit in the anime Last Order, Final Fantasy VII. Great.
How much time we need?
Got all the time in the world. This one comes with a remote detonator.
Courtesy of Jesse.
We withdraw to a safe distance. Then, kaboom!
Safe distance?
What? No such thing. We get out the same way we got in. Let's double back.
I wonder how tough these guys are gonna be here.
What the? Where you going?
Weirdly perfect timing.
Zangan has official artwork in the Ultimania book?
Watching us?
Really? We're saving it.
Greetings, my dear sewer rats. As architect of our populace engagement campaign, I, Heidegger, head of public security, bid you welcome. The chief warmonger. You should be flattered. Right now, you command the undivided attention of every soul in Midgard.
Huh? What is this?
Breaking news from Mako Reactor 5. Shinra has confirmed the reactor to be the target of the bomb threat issued by the terrorist group Avalanche. Members of the group were observed entering the facility, and security is currently sweeping it for explosive devices. We now go live to the scene.
I'm here in the Sector 5 Undercity.
We did turn off subtitles at one point. I turned them back on. I'm trying to ignore them.
Residents are outraged that the tragedy of Mako Reactor 1 was only the first attack in a campaign of violence.
President Shinra has issued a statement providing assurances that the terrorists will soon be brought to justice.
Yo, KP Dunphy, thank you, dude.
To a people beset by chaos and uncertainty, we will offer the finest comfort, bread and service. The big boy. I give you Shinra's latest triumph of technology. The Airbuster, your executioner.
Engineering on the line. Currently, the Airbuster is only 60% operational. The estimates were optimistic.
I'm on air.
Ugh.
To the imbecile in charge down there, you are hereby ordered to seize those intruders and bring them to me.
I think one thing, as we watch the fucking Naruto guys run, one thing that is really not spoken about a lot is the number one, cinematography, and number two, character blocking. It's a thing that throughout a lot of like JRPGs, when characters are just sort of talking to each other in situations and moments like this, it comes across as just kind of weird. However, this game got someone very good that understands good camera placement and cinematography. Someone that very much has a lot of history with where to place characters in a scene, to have them like relevant to each other, to have the frame have balance, which is also like, which is just a level of stuff that's in games that sometimes looks okay and sometimes looks bad. It's actually quite good for the majority of scenes that are actually acted. It's, yeah, I'd actually describe it not as like the greatest cinematography in the world, but extremely coherent cinematography and character blocking, which is something that a lot of games just don't understand a lot of the time, unless you have a game like fucking like God of War or something like that.
Talk quietly or they'll get in trouble!
This should work. Where is it?
Deal with that.
Give me Star Shower. Oh, motherfuckers! Damn, those guys are dead. Those guys are dead.
I don't believe it. We played right into Shinra's hands.
Yeah, and their bullshit news is already peddling that false narrative.
Right now.
So we're screwed.
No, hell no!
Attention, all security
Listen,
forces.
they want to turn this into a spectacle? Then I say let's give them one. Let's take down Shinra's big-ass neck in front of everybody.
Okay. I'm sold.
I'm sold. That's a great question. Like Lord Curtis is like, question, are there any quote-unquote Hell House type enemies in part 2 or 3 we might see expanded into bosses? I'm happy. I am very happy to tell you the name of one of them, and it's Tank Ceratops. there's an enemy that has the body of a tank, the legs of a tank, and the upper half body of a Triceratops. And it is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. That is an enemy that's just like a general enemy in the overworld, or in a zone, that they'll definitely turn into a boss. Absolutely. Tank Ceratops will have to be a boss. He's so weird and bizarre. And then obviously the snake, right? Obviously the Midgar Zalem is going to be a boss fight, but it already is a boss fight in the original game. Yeah, I think we'll reach Gongaga. I think that'll happen. The pirate ship isn't for a long time. Pirate ship doesn't happen until you go to the underwater reactor. That's very far away. But do I think that's a kind of boss fight that you could do? Oh, hell yes. Adamantoise as well, yeah. The giant beach turtle. That's a good one.
Subdue the insurgents and bring them to the command center right now.
You heard the man. Get these components prepped for the airbuster ASAP.
It's ready, sir.
Component outbound from B8.
Copy, B8.
Intruders!
Take him out! Don't overdo it.
About damn time! Get your ass out of
I
here!
got it. There. Bring it.
Oh god, that guy dodged my shit. Dude literally dodged Tifa's giant kick.
What these bastards were up to.
Yo, ton, thank you, dude. And did you know Bloodborne? Thank you very much, man. Yeah, we know about the 60 FPS patch. It's a long way from being a playable game, though, because the patch doesn't work with battles. Works, and they got the timing to work, but it doesn't work on the game logic yet, because you can't fight things. Here, let's do. I think we have to do one.
Like a few of its components are still in transit.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, the weird guy that swings from a pendulum in the Shinra mansion. Yeah, that's a good call.
There should be a console somewhere.
This the console you talking about?
So I think I have to do this.
Think you can get it to work?
Needs a key card.
Well, let's find it then.
Right, I think this is the only one that you have to do, and then I'm just going to ignore all the other key cards. I'm actually purposely not going to nerf the Airbuster because we're playing on hard mode.
Good
And
job.
I am going
Now
to...
let's check out that console.
I'm going to fight the Airbuster with as little nerfs as possible. And I think we have to do this one.
M units, huh? I'm guessing that's some sort of component?
Yep.
You have to do it. That's what I heard, that you have to do at least one.
Materia.
Sounds bad.
Pretty sure I can divert this unit for disposal.
M unit flagged for disposal.
Okay.
Heidegger's got no idea who he's messing with.
So far, so good.
Right. Let's move.
Oh, is it right here? It's right here.
Let's go crazy!
Yo, Flea Man, thank you very much, dude.
You think they're watching us? Even now?
Yep. Probably got a live feed.
Nothing we can do about it. Except smile for the folks at home.
Yeah, Cloud knows Linux. Yo, $10 from Retribution. Thank you very much, man.
Stay sharp.
You don't need to tell me twice. Okay, let's go.
Need my help, do you? Ain't no thing. Gotta bring it home.
Hang back. Take the lead.
I got this.
Let's go to Barrett.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Damn it! Oh, I was trying to get to Prey.
Nothing's gonna stop.
You would
Actually, I
say
need
that.
boxes now. No baxes? Imagine Knights of the Round VR mission. Here's the thing, chat. Here is the thing. Here's the thing. Kitase has a really interesting quote about Knights of the Round from like a few years ago. Let me see if I can find it. He's got a really interesting quote about Knights of the Round from quite a long time ago. Here it is. So this is from like a theory that was presented to Kitase a little while ago. Check this shit out. Knights of the Round are the Cetra that defeated Genova 1,000 years ago. They're the ones that, you know, the great battle that the Cetra go through to essentially stop Genova from murdering all of them. That the Knights of the Round were essentially what does it. And this was told to Kitase, the director of the original Final Fantasy VII, a few years ago. And he had a response. Everyone's thinking too deeply, reading in between too many lines. He's laughing about it. It makes it difficult because if you think about it that way, we might have to make it that way. But that's definitely not true. This motherfucker literally says that that's not our intention, right? We just made this shit with the intention that it's gonna be cool. We just did it that way because that's neat. However, it seems to hint. Wait, where is Because if you think about it that way, we might have to make it that way. And then he addresses, but that your theory is not true. Years ago, he says that theory is not true because that's not our intention. But this already is like, that shit already immediately makes you think that somewhere in the future, the Knights of the Round aren't just going to be this side materia that's just sitting in a hole. That there's going to be some crazy side mission or something that leads you into the history of the knights that protected the planet or some shit like that. The knights that the Cetra used to protect the planet. Fuck, dude. And that you're the only ones that can call upon this power because the planet's in danger. Like, fuck, dude. How sick is it gonna be if you have to pull a new threat and instead of just getting Knights of the Round, what if you have to fight the Knights of the Round in the future? What if you have to take, just like in this game, what if you have to go to some crazy dank cave and then eventually find them and find all this crazy stuff? That's fan service done in a fucking amazing way if they do it that way. Right? Well, that shit will be fucking amazing. Like, god damn, I can't wait. I can't even mentally process that shit. How fucking cool that would be. But the fact that Kitase says, like, if you think about it that way, we might have to make it that way. You know? People are already providing, right? And that's the part where I get excited because they've already been paying attention to so many fan theories and hints in part 1 that they stuck in here. They already did so much of that shit. Oh, man. They're probably gonna pay attention to, like, you know, the Knights of the Round battle that's in Final Fantasy XIV. How many people liked it? Was it cool? Like, they're probably gonna have a bunch of shit. You know, a bunch of shit to eventually go over it all. But it feels like they're listening, right? It does definitely feel like. And then we're gonna scan them all in a dank cave and tell Chadley about it. Sight of Dawn, thank you. And Retribution, thank you for the 10, dudes. I'll read those in a bit.
Component outbound for B7.
Copy. We've lost contact with B8. Send some men to check it out. We've got a schedule to keep.
I'm using this weapon because Blade Beam is crazy. I have magic up on Cloud and Blade Beam is fucking nuts.
Negative B7. Airbuster Pepper's priority. You're on your own.
I'm through with you. Don't overdo it.
Ah!
Looks like there's two concepts.
Yeah, Blade Beam scales with magic, and in this weapon, it's nuts. It does so much damage, like 3K, and it does it to a shit ton of enemies. So we can grab this, but I'm gonna specifically avoid all the key cards here for the sake of our personal gimmick. Yo, Los Batman, thank you for the 5 gift subs, dude, and Nyquil, thank you for the 11 months. We're going full power airbuster. Yeah, we can only do one modification. We're just gonna ignore this room.
Ain't we gonna sabotage this thing?
No. Turns out we're not.
Okay, listen up, y'all. Everything Shinra has told you is a goddamn lie. Mako is the lifeblood of our planet. Those greedy bastards are bleeding it dry. Y'all gotta rise up.
Barrett, who are you talking to?
The people put me on TV. I'm gonna drop some truth.
I'm gonna drop some truth. Yo, Draco Dragoon, thank you very much, dude. How do you get Blade Beam? It's on this weapon. It's the, it's actually the ability of the Mithril Saber. It's called Blade Burst, but it's essentially Blade Beam. 10 from Sioki. Sayoki. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, I'd actually argue Barrett's the best character in this game in terms of like character growth and development from the original FF7. Barrett's incredible.
Deal with that.
All set. There. Come on. Enough. It's on you. Stop now. Strike.
Oh, Cloud, did you just fucking miss?
You're up.
I'm counting on you.
Watch yourself.
Okay, Barrett, this is now our time to shine.
Hurry up.
Oops, missed it. Is this thing gonna block that attack? It did. Oh, God, it. Son of a bitch.
Nothing to it.
Yo, Ikaro, thank you for the 5, dude. You just got platinum? Nice, man. I'm gonna have to read all these, chat, by the way. I'm trying to focus on progressing the game a little bit while we talk about all the crazy, interesting FF7 stuff that's happened over the past few days. I'm gonna leave that there. Well, I tried Japanese voices at some point. I'm sure they're good, right? I'm sure they're, like most Japanese VA, they're probably just fine. The thing is, I love the English voices in this game. I love their delivery. I love their dialogue. I don't like all the grunting, right? The weird Square Enix grunts. That's a very Square Enix-y thing. But goddamn, do I think that every character is so perfectly casted in this game, it's insane. I really don't want to not do that.
Heads up! We got company! Taking down! Engineering, this is B6! Enemy contact! Enemy contact!
I love this shit, dude. These guys just like screaming, enemy contact, they're getting the B6, get him over here!
Can't afford any more delays. Those components coming.
Oh, that guy's dead. Wow, where's this dude? Wow!
Taking over.
Okay.
Piece of cake.
All right. Is there a materia or a box around here I can whack? That's the stuff I actually need. No key cards. What's that?
I tell you what, I ain't never looked forward to an execution more in my entire
Yeah,
life.
I'll definitely say I don't think Barrett's Japanese voice actor is as good as his English
We're
one.
about to make fools out of Shinra while the whole damn city's watching. Times like these, you gotta savor.
Oh no, if you're about to ask me to dance, then don't.
Come on, don't be shy. How about you, Cloud?
I don't dance.
Roach is essentially identical in Japanese. Oh, I just realized Cloud is totally lying. Wow, they're setting you up already. They literally are setting you up already that Cloud doesn't dance. My ass, by the end of this game, Cloud. This is foreshadowing. This funny ass foreshadowing. My ass, Cloud. Claudia. Yo, Zernatin, thanks for the 10, dude. Yeah, oh, dude, that's the thing I don't want to spoil people on Zernatin, so we'll talk about it later. But yeah, Rufus's intentions, it's already here. It's already here.
B5, this is engineering. You need to pick up the pace. We're running dangerously low on components because of those terrorists.
Copy!
Fire truck, thank you, dude.
They're here!
Ow. Ow.
Deal with that.
I got it. Bring it. Watch yourself.
Let's do this.
Nice, got prey off, that's good.
Bunch of pushovers. Come on, y'all. Let's see what kind of mischief they were getting up to.
And once again, no boxes and a bunch of key cards that I'm specifically not gonna get. This is probably, oh. This is probably gonna be the end of me, chat. I'm not gonna lie. This shit is probably gonna be my end, not using all these key cards, but we're gonna power through it. This is an epic boss fight, so I don't mind having to do it a couple of times if I'm gonna die.
We're coming up on the exit. Tifa, detonator still in range?
We should be good.
The moment Big Boy goes down, you hit that switch.
Right.
Yo, why be good? Thank you, dude. What the hell?
Don't overdo it. Take it over.
Ouch.
Try me. Keep it together.
All set. It's on you.
Yes, my turn. Special delivery.
Doink.
Let's do this. Let's finish this. Take him down.
I'll just let Cloud finish him off.
Oh, we're done here.
Okay. Alright. Yo, Red Big, thanks for the 777, and damn, Garlic Nuggets putting in 7 gift subs. Thank you so much, dude. Holy shit. Dub Jackal, thanks for the tier 1. And Skyview Temple, thanks for the 2 months. An antidote, that is not what I needed.
Can't say we didn't prepare. Now we just gotta get it done.
And Magus, thanks for the gift sub as well, man. Alright, here we go. What about the Palmer fight in Rocket Town? You have to have a comedy fight, right? That's what that fight is in the original game. Palmer fighting in Rocket Town is just for comic relief. And it should be tough.
We're short on M units, but tracking down replacements. Work faster, or you'll hear it from the brass.
Look, they're still prepping it.
They're here! Hold them back! Buy us every second you can!
These guys are about to get it. These motherfuckers are about to fucking get it.
Give me your best shot. I got
it. Okay. Okay.
Shit. We too late. That's far. Y'all never had a chance.
And there it goes. Yo, Jackal, thanks for the 5 gift subs as well, dude.
Looks like a performance assessment, don't you think?
We definitely took it down a peg or two. Yeah, I'd give us a fighting chance.
For real though, we need to talk victory poses. Something coordinated for the live on camera finish. Could blow up big, start a new trend.
Veto.
Veto.
Huh? No way up?
No way we're getting back up that pipe.
Keep looking.
Hear that?
Oh no, I did the wrong one.
Let's do this. Byron, you got this.
All set.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh shit. Bad. Holy shit!
You got this.
Ah!
I got this.
God damn, that guy was mad. Jeez, it's like we took him down so fast and then suddenly it just ripped us up. When I think the sequel will be released, 2022, end of 22, 2022, beginning of 2023. Damn, I am low on HP, not good. Item that I can't use? Item that I can't use, great, great. Oh, they get mad after stagger now, really?
Let me bring it.
And don't come back.
They get all pissy after stagger, huh? Can you use items outside of battle? Nope. Not in hard mode.
Big boy's going to an execution, all right.
We give it all, we win.
Yo, Zach, thanks for the 20, dude. Holy hell. Boopy Boopy as well. Hikaru and End. Thanks, guys. I'll read those in a bit.
We're gonna get through this. We're gonna make it home. All of us. No exceptions.
Right. We don't want to disappoint Marlene. That goes for you too, Cloud. Right?
You better give her a big old smile this time.
If the price is right.
You realize that Cloud says that throughout the whole game. That's his... Cloud's main line of dialogue isn't not interested, which is what it mostly is in the original FF7. Now it's his whole mantra is if the price is right. Money. Give me, fuck you, pay me. Give me money.
It's locked down.
Is there any way we can get it open?
Yeah, from that room over there.
How's the stream looking and sounding today, chat? Let me know. Yeah, it must be related to Bob Barker in some way. That's the sort of story stuff that people are really worried about. The purists. The purists are worried that Cloud and Bob Barker storyline, where Bob replaces Zack, is what's gonna happen.
I like the sound of that.
We don't need to do this. I mean, we can,
So
because it's
how do
fun.
we do this?
It's simple, really. We move the levers at the same time.
Got these ones.
I'll take left, which just leaves right, soldier boy.
Emergency lockdown is currently in effect.
So we need to
Price is
synchronize our
wrong,
movements?
Bob.
In that case, follow my lead.
Nah, Tifa's.
Fine, have it your way.
Okay, pay attention, you two. 3, 2, 1.
Emergency lockdown disengaged.
I fucked up this part so badly. It's weird. It's after she does.
We really did it!
You really have to look at when she's pulling the levers.
Right on the money.
Yeah.
Cloud just doesn't high-five her at all.
What y'all got tucked away in that vault,
Can we use this one? No. I saw a dude stuck on that shit for 20 minutes. It started after like the 10th time. He was legit like, "Fuck!" Like, he's so mad. Fuck! Bullshit! This music is so good. I really, really, really want to get all that stuff. Yeah, the vault doesn't give us anything we can use. There's nothing we can actually use. There's no reason to technically go in there. And I didn't unlock anything else on the, actually, let's just try it. Let's just try it. Link?
This would be the treasure vault?
That's right.
What's the catch?
Need to bypass a high-level security lock.
Different from the other one?
Same deal. But we gotta do it several times.
Ha! Not a problem.
Yeah, let's try.
Did I ever grab all the music tracks? No, I think I'm actually missing one.
Delta level security lockdown is currently in effect.
Okay, guys. You know what we have to do.
Copy me?
No, Tifa leads.
Oh, fine. After you, girl.
Gotta get past level 1 first, right? 3, 2, 1.
Alpha level security disengaged.
That was great, you guys. Let's keep it up. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Beta level security disengaged.
Wow, think we've got this?
Hell yeah! Bring it on!
Let's see if I can get this in the first try.
More than sticking it to Shin.
Halfway there. Steady, guys. 3, 2, 1.
Gamma level security disengaged.
No way! You guys are naturals. Okay, final round. Don't lose focus. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, come on!
Breathe when I breathe.
I missed one!
Shake it off. 3, 2, 1.
There you go. Damn it, I missed one!
Disengaged.
Piece of
Disposal
shit.
room now accessible.
And there's nothing in there.
Shinra, making us jump through hoops to steal your shit.
Didn't take as long as I expected. Good work, guys.
Likewise. You made it easy.
I put my heart and soul into those countdowns.
There's different dialogue for getting perfect. Ah! So it's just healing materia? Alright.
Score! It's just like Cloud said.
I say a job well done is on report. I say take everything that ain't nailed down.
Nice. Good. That's great. Useless items. At least I'm at full health for the boss. Alright, are we ready, chat? You ready for this boss music? You ready to watch me get fucked up? Here, hold on a second. Let me see something real fast. Revival, First Strike, Elemental Lightning. That's good. Binding Time. We need to make sure whoever does the other element. You need Lightning on here, Tifa, for this. And in fact, I think I'm in a big picture here. Barret is going to be... Ah, shit! Elemental. And I need to do lightning. Brightening. Not equipped on Tifa currently? I need to do magnify barrier. So, Revival, Chakra, HP up, Steadfast Block, MP up, Magic up, Prayer, Healing. I don't think I'm gonna need Cleansing Materia for this. I don't think he puts us in any weird status effects. I'm curious if any of these will do anything. Maybe not. I might be able to slow him. Hang on a second. I have a plan for this. Because Barrett's going to be the one that's consistently attacking. Right? Tifa doesn't need this immediately. And Tifa, you can use also a lightning, right? Everyone should have lightning for this. If we're gonna prepare for the worst of it all, yeah, everyone needs Thundaga. That is gonna be very good. Hang on a second. Let me look at enemy intel really quick and see if I have the scan. Is it at the top? It seems like all Shinra stuff up here. Shock Ray, Sweeper, Helitrooper, Guard Dog. Guess not. Maybe bosses are towards the bottom. The Arsenal... Airbuster. Shit! I didn't scan this, bitch! Oh my god, I actually have to waste a materia slot on assessment. That sucks. Do I have an open slot on anybody? Fuck! Ah! Okay, maybe we don't need binding materia. I don't think we're gonna be able to sleep or silence this thing. So Cloud, get your ass on. God, man. Okay. All right. God, I love the way this place looks, dude. Holy shit. Here we go.
All right, time to go.
Oh, yeah, that's actually a very good point. What do we have over here? That's good. That's good. Definitely don't want Leviathan. Yeah, because that's... Actually, that's technically ice. Maybe that'll be better than Ifrit? No, Leviathan's water. Shiva's ice. I'm an idiot. I was looking at Shiva and thinking Leviathan. No, we're good. We're good where we're at. Oh, Levy is just damage. Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna do Levy instead of Ifrit. Let's try that. God, look at this shit. Look at this fucking game. Love taking a step back from games and not just grinding on it like crazy and you forget to appreciate how far they went. God, man, it's so good.
Huh? Huh? Look!
The eyes of one who has bathed in Mako, which would make you a soldier.
Ex-soldier.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. Though not, alas, for very long. Accelerated cellular degradation being the most common cause of death by far.
Small note, since we're making story observations on the way through, that's a compilation of Final Fantasy VII reference. That shit is literally from Crisis Core, that soldiers are going through cellular degradation. Jamin, thank you, dude.
This is classified, of course, but every soldier knows the truth.
That's right.
Think you forgetting someone?
Would that I could. You strike me as the type to go wrong about that.
Ain't enough hours in the day to hold you to account for all your crimes.
And what a wasteful indulgence it would be, even if there were.
Okay then. Let's talk about wasteful indulgences. What is Mako? The life stream. The lifeblood of the planet. Our planet. But Shinra keeps on slurping it up like a thirsty dog. What do you think's gonna happen if you don't stop, huh?
We do indeed keep on slurping it up, as you say. But for whose benefit, I wonder. The true nature of Mako is known to one and all, yet the people willfully turn a blind eye to the cost. As you must surely be aware.
Don't you dare try to put this on us! If anyone's going along with your plans, it's 'cause you brainwashed them!
Such methods are beneath me. As are you, my faithful Silverats. Henceforth allies of wicked Wutai, our sworn enemy. Thank you for stoking our people's patriotic fervor.
Wutai! The hell we are! You still don't understand your role in this. What do they do? Don't you see? You fools were never in control. Never anything but pawns in our plans to sound great and glorious war to the people. And your instruments of insurrection will detonate. When we so choose. God damn it! Now let us raise the curtain on our main event.
Like how they Nemesis airdrop him in.
The trial of the eco-extremist group Avalanche. Terrorists conspired with Wutai against Midgard. Your guilt is undeniable. Your punishment, death.
Cool.
I'm sick of this. I'm sick of all of this.
It's just like but I go down.
Cloud, get your head in the game. We're counting on you, man.
Oh fuck, here we go.
You guys good to go?
As good as I'll ever be.
Do that.
Alright, I assessed it! And yes, it wasn't weak to anything. Cloud, did you have haste all? And I think he was... Greater resistances. Oh, he can resist stop. He can resist stop, but he's immune against slow. So I can actually get him to stop. Okay, I don't know if that's worth the MP though, because I think stop is like 14 MP!
Deal with that.
I got it. Cloud, what did you do?
Big boy means business.
Come on, left.
Yeah.
Bob just got fucking nuked. Ow.
You're up.
Let's do this.
Okay. Tifa, can you do me a huge favor? And I'm assuming we're gonna barrier all.
Nothing to worry about. Ha! Come on.
I'm waiting.
Shit.
I got this. lead.
Guess it's my turn. I'm counting on you.
Going in. Don't stop.
I need to get to Tifa.
Say your prayer.
Enough.
Tifa.
Exit phase 2 of the combat trial. You see but a fraction
Nice.
of the
All right.
machine's true capabilities. You're roster ready to fire. Now show me how fast you can run.
Cloud got hit like an idiot. Like a big idiot. Cloud just got destroyed.
You got this.
I got this. You're up.
Guess it's my turn.
Uh,
Right. Watch and learn. Enjoying your time. Bring it to heat.
Cloud, you are fucking just going in, aren't you?
I'm counting on you.
Cloud, why didn't you...
Pushing it.
Let me handle this.
Okay, Barrett got hit.
I'm waiting.
Your efforts are futile. It'll chase you to the edge of the world if need be. Yeah,
I hate when they do that.
Let's take care of them first.
Oh, shit.
But
I got this. Come on. Don't give up.
Tifa, you got it off, right? Nice.
It's on you.
I got it.
Fucking A, man. Okay, Cloud's stunned again.
Give her your all. Beat them. Yeah. Let's pour out the pain.
Bring it.
check out this. Give it all.
I've got this. It's on you.
I got it. Bring it.
Okay.
I was looking forward.
Who has it? Blink, do you have it? I need to bring in Cloud. It's like a huge priority.
Deal with that.
In fact, first I need to make sure Barrett gets his.
That it?
Oh my God.
Let's do this.
Okay. First time I brought in Bahamut. The whole time. Sick. Sick.
Don't overdo it.
I got this.
Nice, Barrett. Holy shit.
My turn. Take the lead.
Okay, let's go.
Cloud? Oh shit. The stun is crazy, dude. Ugh.
Finish him off. Now's our chance.
Let's do this. Hope you don't you let up now.
Bring it.
Need a breather.
All set. You're up.
Oh shit! Are we all about to die? Oh, goddamn, Cloud's like, what the fuck? That is so goddamn cool. That's so goddamn cool. He saved our ass. We were all about to get beamed to shit.
Damn, all those drones. Time to do your thing, JJ.
Watch and learn. Just make sure you got my back, all right?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
You got this.
Need to heal up.
Am I on Cloud right now? I'd rather haste Barrett because he is essentially our lifeline at the moment. Fuck!
Hang back. Deal with that.
All set.
Come on.
Watch yourself.
Can't do anything. Barrett's our lifeline.
Want some more? Back to the limit. Come on. I'm not finished.
Okay, cool.
Afford to be reckless.
It's on you.
I got this.
Nothing to it.
That it?
Come on, Cloud. I need to arise this motherfucker.
Keep it together.
Let me handle this. Come on.
Let's do this. Gotta get
Please, Cloud, fuck this guy up!
deal with that.
You asked for it.
You will burn like the reactors you sold.
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for focus shot.
All right.
Keep it together.
I'm counting on you.
Let's switch it up.
Let's go. Watch yourself.
Come on, Barrett, get that damn ATB.
Give them hell.
That's it.
Oh, motherfucker!
All right. Keep it up. Hope you're ready.
My dearest Avalanche, my apologies, but this time let me part ways. This is to improve the invaluable and raising the morale of our city.
Barrett, let's give him some of the good shit.
We almost got this.
Come on, guys.
Bring it on.
Let's talk what we made of.
Bring it.
Okay.
You're up.
All right, watch and learn.
Double tank buster, that's bullshit!
You got this.
Need to heal up. Let's do this. Deal with that.
I got this.
Oh, fuck. That just fuck up Blade Beam?
Bring it. It's on you.
Need my help.
Hang back. It's on you.
Okay, let's go.
Ow!
Yes, it's my turn. Gotta love it.
Not over yet.
Bring it home.
Don't give up. There's no escape. Take the lead.
Come on! Come on! Alright, first try. So much fun. This shit is so much fun. Oh, man.
We don't have long to get clear.
Take Tifa and get out of here.
I was wrong about you.
This ain't the end of the line for you or me.
Bahamut saving our ass was the coolest shit.
Come on.
That was so much fun. That was so much fucking fun. I'm glad we kept all the shit on him, too.